Yeah, I feel like I'd been looking for a retreat. I'd been through, I guess, a little bit of a disruptive phase, and I felt like I'd lost my connection to joy. And I just moved back to Bali, and I really wanted to reconnect with Bali, reconnect with joy, and reconnect with intimacy, and just nourish myself, really be in a space whereby I could lean back into the feminine energy and just really nourish myself. So that was my intention. And when I couldn't find anything that felt aligned. And then when yours popped up, I was like, oh, yeah, that's it. There were so many moments because the schedule was, yeah, there were so many amazing pieces in the schedule. And for me, I'm not going to pick out one particular session just because they all offered something. But I think the overall piece that really connected me back into my heart was just the community of women that you'd pulled together and yours and Josie's leadership of the experience. And it just felt like being with some kind of soul family, some kind of tribe, whereby we were just having fun, but also doing the deep work. And it was through being supported and witnessing others in their experience that I really felt myself come come alive, come become more open. It was that experience of like being in the containers with the women that I was in the containers with. Everyone was just such an incredible bond. I think whenever you take yourself off to experiences like this, things come up, right? Because there will be something that triggers you or something that you've been not looking at, and that's kind of why you go. So for me, I felt like a lot of insecurity come up. I felt the kind of little girl part of me that has always felt like, where do I belong? Do I fit in? That really came to the surface. And because we were moving through so many different kinds of workshops and energy work, it was really, really present. But the group were just so nourishing and welcoming and supportive that that was able to come up for me to actually sit and look at that and say, hey, it's time to let that go. Like this is really holding you back from what you desire most deeply, which was, intimacy. My desire was for intimacy. But this piece of you is blocking you from stepping towards it. So it was an intense experience for that to come up and to want to be really present and connected with everybody, but to have that fear being present. And through the week, I felt that just start to dissipate. And then by the time I came home, that's really stayed with me, that realization that there's no longer a need to carry that small child piece around with me, and it's okay to let that go now. And she's safe to just be herself in the world. I guess it was similar in terms of, having a structure and a schedule and beautiful food and being in a lovely location. But it was different because, for one thing, you and Josie were really a part of the experience with us. There wasn't like a separate leadership or teaching. It was you were teaching and leading whilst also being immersed in the experience. And that was really different. And I think the other thing that was different was just how connected we were as a group as a result of you guys leading it in that way. Because other retreats I've been to, I think have felt a bit more about the isolated journey, a bit more about, go and be on your own and do this thing. And that's lovely too. There's a time and a place for both. But I would say the reason this one felt most different to me was just the way that we integrated and learned together, the way that we shared. And it made it more fun. I think retreats can be a bit serious, like, because it's also, I must do this intense inner work. And it made it feel more light and more fun because whatever you or anyone else was processing, we would always come back together and move through it or cook some, cacao balls or something like this. So there was like that light in the dark. There was that kind of polarity in the experience. I'd say to really allow themselves to disconnect. The 8-day experience is amazing. You really get to immerse yourself and disconnect. So really allow yourself to be fully, completely present in that experience. And that's where you're going to receive all of, the magic that you guys are actually sharing there. I'd say that you and Josie are authentic, fun, inspiring leaders, and not just leaders, but friends. And your energy is infectious. You've got a lot to teach, a lot to give, and you create a really safe, loving space. So if anybody's got any insecurity or anything, you know, they feel nervous of, they will be very safe. They will be very supported, and they'll have what they need to receive in the experience. And I just say to kind of jump in and let it be fun as well. Like just go in with an open mind and open heart, and prepare to learn some stuff about yourself as well.